SFX makeup tutorial. I'm Harper, I'm 10 years old, and I'm going to teach you how to do some special effects makeup. To start off, I'm going to show you some different bloods that I like to use. For the first blood that I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to show you how to make your own blood with just a few easy steps. What you're going to need to make this is some corn syrup, bowl and spoon, blue, red, and green food coloring. To start off, you're going to take some of your corn syrup and pour it in your bowl. You don't need too much depending on what you're going to make. I'm probably just going to do about that much. You're going to take some red and you're going to put about 3 drops of red in your corn syrup. Then you're going to take a tiny bit, so about like 1 drop of blue and just a tiny bit of green. So like you can just put it really close and only get like a tiny bit in there, just like I did. Now mix. This is darker blood, like Venus blood, which is blood without oxygen. If it's too dark and you want it to be a lighter color, like it's new, you can just add some more corn syrup, just a little, and then some more red. I'm gonna do like 2 drops. And then again, just stir. Once you have it to the color you like, you can take a little and apply it to your wound. I quickly made this little cut so I could show you what it looked like. So you can just take your paintbrush, dip it in, and just dab it in there. That already looks pretty real, and I'm not even done applying it yet. And just like that. And boom, there you have it, your own homemade fake blood, with only using corn syrup and some food coloring. The second one I'll be showing you is the Miron blood. You've seen me use other projects of the Miron, and I do like this company a bunch, and I love this blood. It does come in a small container, which is the sad part, but it actually is a very thick, dark blood, and that's what I really like about it. That's what it looks like on my skin, and I think it has such a good blood-like texture. And this is the Miron coagulated blood. The next blood I'll be showing you is Graftobian blood gel. Now this came in a Trauma Severe kit, and I think you can buy it separately, but I like this one because when you open it, it's actually a twist off. And it's almost like a nail polish, so it has like an end to it so you can actually brush it on. And it's kind of like the last one I showed you. It's just that it comes in a different container. Now these two are by the same company called Kangaroo. Now you can buy these separately, but they are still from the same company. This one actually came in a costume kit, and this one just came by itself. I like this one because it's a squeeze bottle, and it's very watery, but I still like it. And it's very bright, which is good for like if you try to make new blood. This type would also be a good one if you're gonna use a sponge and make it kind of look like a little splatter. You can see how that looked very good. Their other one is called blood gel. Now this one is the one that came separately, and it's a screw off. Now for this one, you won't squeeze it out. You'll have to use a little paintbrush to go in there. I want to say that this one's a little thicker than the other one. And this one's also good for going like that. But I think the other one is what it's really meant for. This one is Vampire Blood from Fun World. I like this one because, again, it's a squeeze blood. And it's actually pretty dark. And again, it's kind of watery, so it does have a lot in common with the last one I showed you. This one is also good for using a sponge. Now this one is really cool, and I'll tell you why. Instead of just a normal like put on blood or squeeze out blood, it's actually a splatter blood. Look how cool that looks. And you could totally just spray this on, and it'd look like it splattered a bunch. Keep in mind that blood will stain things and it is very messy. Nothing happened around here. Okay, and we're done. Bye! Just kidding. I saved my favorite for last. And this blood is called SFX blood. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name right, but I really like this one. I like this one because it's super thick and it has such a dark color to it. And you can see that it's super dark. And yeah, that's why I really like this one. And let's move on to our wound. What I'm going to be doing for the wound is I'm going to be creating like a bear scratch. So it's going to be on the bottom of my arm, but you can do it wherever. And it's going to be pretty epic. First up, let's take our scar wax. I'm going to use about this much because I'm going to make a medium-sized bear scratch. I like to roll mine out, then choose the 3 different parts. So 1, 2, 3, and then form those into a ball. Once you have your effects makeup formed into 3 equal parts, you will only need 1 at the time. But then you're kind of gonna roll it out into a long, I don't know what they're called, but kind of like that, but super long. Once you have it to a long enough shape, you could just go ahead and break it out and roll those out again to an equally shape. Because it'll just make it a little easier to roll out. Now repeat this for the other 2. So now I have 6 rolled out wax pieces. Then you're going to take one of the wax pieces out of 2 and place it in the middle of your arm or on one of the sides. This will be one of the bear scratches. Go ahead and place that right down there. If it wants to stick. And then I'll take my tool and blend that in. Once you're done with the first side, you can go ahead and do the other side. You kind of want it to be at a curve, and it does not have to look all blended in as good so far. But technically what I'm doing is I'm leaving the center as the very top and center of this wax and just smoothing in the very bottom. Because with it, that kind of looks like it went into your skin. Once you have that all blended in, just make sure all those edges are smoothed out, and then you can take a tinier tool and kind of get the inside to just blend in more. And then like the tricks I've taught you before, you can take your hand, and if it's too sticky, you can add some face powder. You can even just add it straight on, then use your brush and pat it. And you don't want to push it down completely. Now repeat this 2 other times on both the sides. This time you can make them a little smaller than you did the first time. Just make sure they go in the same direction, just as you would if you were scratching your arm. Once you have that all done, you can go ahead and take some purple and red and just apply that at the end of a tiny makeup brush and put it on the inside every single scrape, or not scrape, huge cut. And it won't look the best right now, but that's what we'll do later. To just keep on adding red and purple. Now you're gonna take a bigger brush and take your red, put that all over the big brush, and just rub it all over to make it all red. You can also use a little purple if you'd like. Okay, now I'm going to do a little purple. Just like that. Time for the blood. I'm going to use my SFX blood by Wuchi. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And take a tiny makeup brush. It doesn't even have to be too tiny, because this is pretty big. I'm going to take about that size and just dip it in. Then just put it all in those scrapes. Again, not scrapes, it's big cuts and scratches. And you don't want to brush it in completely, because you also want it to like just dab on. And make sure to cover those creases too. I like to dab just because it gives it a bunch of texture and looks more like flesh. Also, make sure you don't put too much blood in between these lines with the SFX makeup, because you don't want it to make it look like it's all connected. You want to make it look like a big cut or scratch. Time for the fun and messy part. But now I'm going to use my blood splatter, and I'm going to make sure not to get it on my pants. But then I'm just going to spray it, and make sure you are not doing this on carpet. And I'm going to go down just to make it look like it's going down. And don't make a mess like I just did. That bonfire was so great. What was that? Samantha? I'm gonna call my mom. No cell service? What do you mean? Let's take it off. Ew. It feels so weird. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope you liked it, and I hope that you actually watched my previous videos too. And if you haven't, you can go check them out right after this. I want to give a big thanks to Bath for letting me do this. I also want to thank you guys for supporting me and watching all these videos. Hopefully you give Effects Makeup Out a try because it's super fun and it gets easy once you get the hang of it. If you're able to, it would be awesome for you to donate to BAFT and support the arts. Thank you for watching. Bye!